There's a man who was going to church and he was giving offertory. And then as he was picking the money, a condom fell. Friends, I remember attending one sermon and then I came back. I told my friends, you know what? I'm going to become born again. And so the next day, there was something like a kadanke at school, yeah? You remember?
Yeah.
What, as if, you know, I'm different from them. The devil first separates you from everyone. And then even the people you would run to for help, they are judging you. So you die alone in your sin. And at the end of the day, you're very much absorbed in your sin.
How best can those people bring youths closer? And babeera nga tebabatya to disclose their life, their way of life to them.
The guy just told me that is the devil, the devil.
Yeah.
And so that whole statement freaked me out. There is no way I could tell him that, hey, it's me, I'm going through this, you know. The guy has already told you, devil, you know. There are also not enough people who speak the same language that young people speak, by which I open up to them over the things they want to hear. Like, because they have this whole picture of how a Christian is supposed to behave, so you tell them what they want to hear. And they create, let me say, spaces, youth-led spaces, where young people talk to fellow young people. Or maybe they train some of the young people to give information in a way that best fits young people. I think you're not praying enough. You know, you're feeling like, I think you
the Holy Spirit is your friend.
You actually, tomorrow you start a fast. At that point, I need just someone to talk to me and tell me, hey, everything is going to be okay. You know, Jesus said, give what belongs to Caesar, and what belongs to me.
Christians condemn so much relationships. I mean dating. Why is it like that? I mean, at what age is someone supposed to be dating? Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Natasha Kwagala and this is Christian Voices. So today we will be talking about SRHR, that is sexual reproductive health and rights, and basically we'll be in line with Christianity. I'm here with a colleague, a poetess, and also a student, and she's also a peer educator or influencer.
Thank you for having me, Ebo. And I don't know about poetess. I always call myself a poet. So
yeah.
I refuse to shift to the English.
Okay.
So basically, thank you. My name is Leticia. I'm a law student. I'm a poet. I'm also a peer educator at Uganda, something I'm really, really much proud of. And yes, I'm looking forward to a great time with Ebo. She's a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for some time, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
today we will be talking about SRHR, that is sexual reproductive health and rights, and basically we'll be in line with Christianity, what young Christians face, what young Christians are not told, and maybe they later mess up or something, and also life at the university as a young Christian. And that's how we are going to dig deep into it, and I hope it will be educative and it will help someone out there. So what do you understand by sexual rights, sexual reproductive health and rights?
And the thing I forgot, I'm also a Christian. So yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
And sexual reproductive health. I mean, this is something that we live with. I mean, it's part of us. Yeah. These are our rights. It's not a privilege. It is not something that is discriminative. It should not be discriminative. It's our inherent rights to access reproductive health and information, and especially for young people. So this is a right to receive and get access to the right information so that we can make informed choices. And many young people struggle with different things concerning their sexual reproductive health, and some of the girls or boys in communities, they are denied access to these rights, and some of them are persecuted for accessing some of these rights. And some of them are misunderstood when they seek these rights, when they seek this information, when they seek these services. Yeah.
And just to ask, like, why, as a young Christian, have you ever felt like um, being a young Christian, you have to be perfect, you have to have a perfect path?
Yeah. And I think this is something that cuts across, like the whole thing of Christian, yeah? They expect you to be perfect for some weird reason. They expect you to live up to literally everyone's expectations. And at some point, out from just being a Christian, you're also a human being. And you're also a young person who's going through all phases of young people. So you're not different, you're not getting different struggles, it is the same, regardless of whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian.
Okay. An experience you've encountered as a young Christian that...
An experience. Okay. I mean, there are a couple of stories, but one in particular, I remember growing up, I come from a Catholic home. So growing up, I just chose to become a born again from different environments that I was raised from. So I remember when I told my friends, I remember attending one sermon, and then I came back, I told my friends, you know what? I'm going to become born again. And so the next day, there was something like a kadanke at school, yeah? And I love music. I love music, like all young people growing up in high school, you know the vibe. Yeah. So when the kadanke came and I was inside there, dancing, and then people were looking at me like, isn't this Leticia? Girl, you just literally told us you're now born again, yeah? And then I was like, and I felt bad, of course. I felt like maybe I had betrayed myself, I had messed up so bad, and people were making a whole big deal out of it. Christian, I was actually even in the SU member.
Yeah.
What, as if, I'm different from them, yeah?
Why do you think so many young Christians suffer silently? Like it's like they are persecuted and they struggle silently with issues of sexuality, mental health, or even stress at the university.
Personally, I think there are not enough safe spaces for young people to freely express themselves and freely, reach out. And there are also not enough people who speak the same language that young people speak. By that the devil first separates you from everyone, and then even the people you would run to for help, they are judging you. So you die alone in your sin, and at the end of the day, you're very much absorbed in your sin.
So how best can those people bring youths closer and babeera nga tebabatya to disclose their life, their way of life to them?
You don't feel safe opening up to some of these church elders and pastors and stuff like that. Okay, we can open up to them over the things they want to hear. Like, because they have this whole picture of how a Christian is supposed to behave, so you tell them what they want to hear, and they get to access to only what they want to hear. I don't know how some of the church settings are, but if they create, let me say, spaces, youth-led spaces where young people talk to fellow young people, or maybe they train some of the young people to give information in a way that best fits young people, because some of us, I mean, the dynamics are changing. What used to work for people back then, right now, it doesn't work for us. And it requires someone who speaks our language, who understands.
And so, what misconceptions do young Christians often have about sexuality and faith?
I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, the fact that you're a Christian and you're a young Christian, they separate the two. You being a Christian and you being a young person. It's like they differentiate the two personalities. You're the same person. So that means you're going through the same thing as someone who's not a Christian would go through. Yes.
Yeah, sure. So, do you have a scenario where you went into a mental breakdown or stress something?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for the first semester when I had just joined campus, I remember I was really, really excited. And then when I left home and they had brought all my stuff, I'm now in my car room. My roommate hadn't yet come. So I remember sitting down like I hadn't yet organized everything. I sat down on the floor and I felt so alone. I've never felt like that in my entire life. I felt so alone, so distant. I felt like I can't reach anyone. Yes. And I have some of my friends who are really, really prayerful and stuff like that. Like we have these praying groups. So you can't even share something like that because the only response they will tell you is pray, Sarah. Pray. I think you're not praying enough.
Yeah.
You're feeling like I think you
The
need
Holy Spirit is your friend.
you actually tomorrow you start a fast. But at that point, I need just someone to talk to me and tell me, hey, everything is going to be okay. So my what I think is there should be a distinction between reality and because there are some things that come and maybe you need counseling and then they tell you to go and fast. You understand? I'm not saying that I'm a believer, I'm a huge believer in prayers working because I've seen God work for me. But sometimes that there are situations that need professional help and you need some other service apart from only telling you to go and pray and stuff like that.
At some point, have you ever felt judged?
Yes, I think all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Scenario.
Oh my God, there's so many. I can't think. I feel pressure. So, but, there was a time I had, for purposes of, I won't say like I had an addiction, like I was addicted to something, and it's something I didn't want to discuss with anyone because I felt like, addictions, you're doing something wrong, but it sort of pushes you to, in sort of loneliness so that it consumes you the more. So I tried to talk to, I was in SU, so some of the SU leaders, I tried to talk to them, but before even bringing up the exact thing, because I first sort of gave him an example of, let's say this and this and this and this is happening. The guy just told me that is the devil, the devil.
Yeah.
And so that whole statement freaked me out. There is no way I could tell him that, hey, it's me, I'm going through this, The guy has already told you, devil, stuff like that. So
the youths face a lot of challenges. They face anxiety, loneliness, academic pressure, and all that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we need real life experience, like real life advice, other than pray. Pray harder, have faith, trust God. Yes, you can pray, you can have faith, you can trust God, but sometimes we need real life advice.
Yes.
I was going to use a very wrong phrase that life is not all about prayer. Life is all about prayer. But then sometimes abantu abakkiriza tugenda nekyo kisussaamu oluusi omwana azze akugambye alina ekizibu maybe the person is addicted to something or depressed, yetaaga therapy maybe. Yetaaga therapy, yetaaga omuyigiriza ekyokola, then you tell the youth, pray harder, trust God, have faith. Ebintu ebimu bivaawo na actions. You get. And just to what has helped you stay grounded in faith during your university life?
And before I answer that, as you were speaking, I remembered something like, Jesus said, give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar. and what belongs to me to me. You know, that statement is diverse.
Yeah.
You know? What needs to be handled by, let's say, the doctor, you shouldn't take it to church. So in the same way, it should also apply to how the church handles some of the issues in regards to young people and in regards to realities, actual realities of life. There's a story that we were always being told in church of this guy. There's a man who was going to church and he was giving offertory, and then as he was picking the money, a condom fell. Yes. So okay, he was bringing it as an example, as like something very disgusting. You understand? But at the end of the day, that is a man trying to protect his life. Yes. So, would you rather he gets HIV?
Then.
I mean, just because he's a Christian,
Yeah.
you understand? I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to justify anything, but I mean, we need to look at life from like a whole reality spectrum. Yes. And young people, we are normally told, okay, the only thing you hear from church is wait till marriage, of which I agree with that. But the reality of life is so many people are engaged in sexual activity. So, I mean, of course, the church as it is cannot come out and promote, what's the word called? I've forgotten, I'll remember the word. And it can't come out and promote, but at least these.
So, what has helped you stay grounded in your faith as a university student?
Yeah, I think that's a very subjective question. What works for me might not work for another person, but at the end of the day, we need to be there for each other. Personally, I think it's my friends. You know, I have a weakness that the people I'm close to, I tend to behave the exact way they behave. Yeah. So that's why I'm very picky when I'm deciding friends and stuff like that, because I know they will influence so much of my life. So basically, at campus, being away from home, I got acquainted to friends that are really grounded in faith, for starters, and people who really talk to me and people who I'm free with, that we even discuss things like, mental issues. Like we speak to each other about different things that are happening away from just the faith. We have real talk conversations, and I think that's something that has greatly helped me to stay grounded to myself and true to who I am.
Like, what challenges do you face balancing your books, balancing the faith, the social life at campus?
I mean, it gets hard because sometimes those theories sort of contradict. Okay, it's not like entirely they contradict, but life is just happens, and sometimes you deviate from one in favor of the other. Sometimes you change your routines in favor of the other. Sometimes, as a normal person, you can also get excited by some things, So, of recent, I was really, really excited by night out sometimes. And I used to like hanging out with friends. And that's something that, you get these excitements as a normal person. So sometimes it sort of drifts in the time of the other. And then maybe sometimes you have papers, and then you have prayers, and then you have to forego the prayers and to focus on reading.
Yeah. How do things like parties, relationships, studies influence your spiritual growth?
I think, it's something that I had, like what you feed your body, your spirit, it builds your spirit. I don't know how, I don't want to mess up, I don't know how they say it the exact right way, but it's something about the connectivity between your body, and what you do and how it affects your spiritual realm, if I would say, for lack of better words. So some of the things that you keep on doing, and at this point I've forgotten your question. I'm speaking.
How do things like parties, relationships, and peer pressure influence your spiritual growth?
Yeah. Of course, the people, the
Yeah,
friends you keep around,
Yeah.
okay, the friends you keep around,
Yeah.
they would shape some of the aspects of your life. Yes, and then relationships. Of course, we don't. People, especially as Christians, they don't want us to talk about it, but it is happening. We may have people like we are getting to know in a certain way. Yes, so it's something that they tell us not to do until further notice. But yeah, it is happening, and so it sort of influences your life and your spirituality. So you have to be keen as a Christian, and you choose people to let in your life who are going to contribute to your spiritual growth. Perhaps maybe some people who you can pray with, some people you can talk to about the different struggles. So that really contributes.
But I have something that perturbs my understanding.
Yeah.
Rachi Christians condemn so much relationships. I mean dating. Why is it like that? I mean, at what age is someone supposed to be dating?
Ha! You want to get me arrested and banned from my church?
Well, my pastors will watch this, but I'm not encouraging anyone to date at a young age. I just want to know. I don't even from the Samazo. Like, I've seen people that condemn dating even to students there at campus. I don't know whether that's right or wrong, but in my point of view, I think university
What's your
student
point of view?
is free to date because